Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Education. हम पिछले कुछ हफ्तों से मुसलसल बात कर रहे हैं और मुसलसल इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि बात करनी ज़रूरी है कि जो सैलाब 2022 में पाकिस्तान में आए हैं उसके बाद जो पूरा तालीमी निज़ाम है, ख़ास तौर पे उन अज़ला का जो ज़्यादा फ्लड अफेक्टेड हैं, उसको दोबारा बहाली की तरफ किस तरह लेकर जाया जा सकता है, कौन सी ऐसी एफ़र्ट्स हैं जो हुकूमत को करने की ज़रूरत है, कहाँ पे हमें बैरूनी सपोर्ट की ज़रूरत है और क्या वो सपोर्ट मुमकिन होगी जिस किस्म की पूरी दुनिया में इस वक्त हालात हैं, एक रिसेशन का सा समा है, उसमें ये मुमकिन हो पाएगी या नहीं हो पाएगी, और इमरजेंसी हो या नहीं हो, हंगामी हालात हों या नहीं हो। इस सबसे बालातर होके हम ये जानते हैं कि जब तालीम की बात आती है तो हम जब से देख रहे हैं पाकिस्तान हंगामी हालात ही का शिकार है, और पाकिस्तानी तालीमी निज़ाम जो है उसके अंदर जो ये परपेचुअल स्टेट ऑफ इमरजेंसी है, इसको किस तरह से ख़त्म किया जा सकता है। और इन तमाम चीज़ों पे आज हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ जो गेस्ट हैं वो हैं इज़ा फ़ारूक, एंड इज़ा is the senior specialist for education at the World Bank. All right, Iza, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We know you have a very packed schedule today, so we won't keep you long. And so we'll sort of just zoom right into the first question, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
All right. Iza, हम पिछले कुछ हफ्ते से अपने podcast में we've been talking about जो फ्लड्स का इम्पैक्ट रहा है पाकिस्तान के अंदर एजुकेशन सिस्टम पे। हमने इस वक्त जो भी डेटा पाकिस्तान से इमर्ज हो रहा है, ये भी पता चल रहा है कि जिस किस्म की इंटरनेशनल सपोर्ट 12-13 साल पहले जब सैलाब आए थे उस वक्त वो एक इन्फ्लक्स था, जिस तरह की सपोर्ट का इस वक्त वो नहीं है। एंड देयर आर ऑफ कोर्स अ वैरायटी ऑफ रीजंस। बिल्कुल, यू नो, वीव जस्ट the entire world has just sort of, or is still, you know, struggling with whatever adverse effect the pandemic left, and then on top of that अब उसी का शायद एक aftermath है कि एक global recession का समा है, and then Pakistan is not the only country right now struggling with a mega scale disaster, right? We've just seen the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. जब पाकिस्तान में फ्लड आया, नाइजीरिया में भी तकरीबन उसी नौइयत का फ्लड आया. So there's a very obvious donor fatigue, and so probably जिस तरह की सपोर्ट पाकिस्तान को इस वक्त रिक्वायर्ड है, शायद वो, and so efforts are ongoing, but that sort of support simply might not be possible this time. इस situation में what, you know, we'd want to learn what the World Bank is thinking of in terms of supporting Pakistan, and then generally what are some of the things that the government also needs to prioritize and sort of do to make sure कि education किसी ना किसी तरह अपने पाँव पे वापस खड़ी हो जाए।
I think that's a really important question, Ariba, and just a few things that come to mind when you were talking. A few things that came to mind is, you know, you are absolutely right. So, you know, the kind of outpouring of financial support that one would have expected, because I think for two primary reasons, right? एक तो आपका ये है कि आपके development partners in Pakistan, there's I would like to say there's a lot of collaboration, for instance, among the primary development partners, आपके जो bilateral partners हैं, but I think, you know, we tend to kind of focus more inward on what we are doing rather than, you know, achieving economies of scale by collaborating. But, you know, so a few things that I think, I was part of the education PDNA. I was co-leading it with UNICEF, and one thing that I found is that the floods actually gave us an opportunity to kind of work together as one team. And while, you know, financial support wasn't immediately available, there was a lot of support to informing the post-disaster needs assessment, at least the one that I was part of in the education sector. And we had a whole bunch of, we activated the National Education Development Partners group, local versions of the groups, the local education groups were also activated to help inform a PDNA that was based on, you know, that provided as accurate an assessment as possible of the damages due to floods, because ek to time bhi bahut kam tha. Secondly, a lot of areas were still, covered by flood water, so it wasn't really possible to do a detailed facility by facility assessment in the time frame given. But not only doing a needs assessment, but also coming together with a set of immediate, medium, and long-term measures. But I think, like what you said, the government will need to become more self-sufficient in the role that it plays. And we've seen that, we saw not only the education ministry, but we saw the Ministry of Planning and Development come forward and really take a leadership role and coordinating the PDNA, interacting with the provinces. After 18th Amendment, that is also a bit of a challenge where, the federal, provincial and interprovincial coordination needs, you need to make an actual effort to make that happen. So, I mean, in record time, PDNA was put together, a recovery framework was put together, in time for the major international conference. So, there's been a lot of the World Bank we've tried to really quickly pivot flood response by looking at operations and including a recovery rehabilitation component to the extent possible, and centers, and also already start thinking of learning recovery. And a lot of the restructuring of the projects is aligned to the proposals in the post-disaster needs assessment. But I think sabse pehle, the government needs, in its leadership role, needs to think of how to get children back to school, right? You are dealing with a reality where they've lost loved ones, their parents have possibly lost, their only source of income, whether it is their wages, whether it is their sources such as crops or, livestock, etc. So how to make sure that education stays relevant. And in the development sector, we very often talk about negative coping strategies, which is a set of responses, that families automatically lean towards in the face of emergency. And one of the negative coping responses, unfortunately, is pulling children out of school. A lot of it has to do with the routines that are needed to continue school. A lot of it has to do with the associated costs of schooling, even if the children go to. दो तीन चीजें हैं कि आप बच्चों को वापस do not break the habit of them coming to school, right? One of the recommendations of the PDNA was that in areas where private schools are continuing, because it's the private low-fee private sector model is fairly adapted, where they're in rented premises, they can reopen in another rented premises. So while public schools are being reconstructed, आप subsidize करें low-fee private schools को या बच्चों को vouchers दें ताकि वो low-fee private schools जा सकें. You prioritize what children need to learn, right? I think this would not be a time for business as usual. Minimize, streamline, filter down the curriculum to the complete essentials so that children are able to progress and are able to go to the next grade. Forget about exams, forget about the comprehensive curriculum. Focus on essential learning and learning recovery. Use creative means such as cash transfers. We have known have worked really well in getting children into school, whether you want to make them conditional to attendance or anything else, or whether you just want to have blanket cash transfers. And then, give schools the autonomy to be able to recover the way they want to recover, right? I think that is really essential. Like a school that has been a primary school, a multi-grade primary school in villages in Sindh will be very different from an urban primary school in Swabi, which is, schools and school heads at this point in time should have the autonomy to use whatever resources they have, whether it's the non-salary budget in Punjab or the SMC account in Sindh or, other provinces. Let them find their own solution, and we see that really, really does work. Mobilize communities wherever possible. So these are a few things that come to mind. But at this point, you can't have a centralized approach. It has to be needs-driven, it has to be situation-specific, and it has to be innovative. You can't, business as usual, your curriculum, your routines, they go out the window. Just do whatever you can to have children come back to school.